So, what if I told you that the path to becoming a millionaire and the journey of a top YouTube creator are basically the same thing? Seriously, it's not about luck, it's not about who you know. Today, we're going to lay out a powerful roadmap that shows how a creator's strategy for growth is pretty much a mirror image of the core principles for building serious wealth. Let's dive in. This right here, this quote, is the absolute foundation for everything we're about to talk about. An architect doesn't just start throwing bricks in a pile, they start with a detailed blueprint. Well, your mindset? That's the blueprint. Before a single dollar is made, before a single video gets uploaded, you have to first make the decision to build something valuable. Okay, so what is this big, life-changing decision? It's choosing to stop trading your time for a fixed paycheck and instead start creating assets that work for you. It's the decision to solve a problem for people or to entertain them or to teach them something new. That is the fundamental shift from just being a consumer to becoming a creator. And here's the biggest hurdle for most people. It isn't a lack of cash or a lack of opportunity. It's this wall right here. It's that voice inside your head that says, I can't do that. Most people just count themselves out of the game before it even starts. They never realize that the entire journey to a million begins with tearing down that one self-imposed limit. So, you've made the decision. You're ready to build. But what's the core principle? It all comes down to understanding one crucial difference. Society teaches us to sell our time, but real wealth is built by creating value. Let's break down what that actually looks like. Look, this is the difference between a capped income and truly unlimited potential. When you sell your time, you can only ever earn as much as the hours you're able to work. That's it. But when you create value, like a great video or a course or some kind of tool, that thing can work for you 24/7. It scales, and that scalability, that's the engine of wealth. Okay, so how do we take this big idea of creating value and turn it into a real-world plan? Well, for any modern creator, the first big gate you have to pass through is YouTube monetization. And listen, this isn't just about earning a few bucks from ads. It's the first real-world validation that you are, in fact, creating something that an audience is willing to spend their precious time on. To get through that gate, you need a specific set of keys. If you're making traditional long-form videos, you need to hit 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time within a year. Now, if you're a shorts creator, the goal is 10 million views in just 90 days, plus that same 1,000 subscriber minimum. These are the metrics that prove your value to YouTube. Let's break those down. First up, 1,000 subscribers. Now, this is way more than just a number. This represents your first tribe, your initial community. It's solid proof that you found a group of people who are actually getting value from what you're putting out there. And that second metric, 4,000 watch hours, well, that is all about engagement. This shows YouTube that people aren't just clicking on your videos and leaving. No, they're sticking around. They're actually consuming your content, which means the value you're providing is strong enough to hold their attention. So once you hit those magic numbers, the application itself seems pretty simple. It's just 3 steps. You review and accept the terms, you sign up for an AdSense account, and then you just wait to get reviewed. But it's that second step, the AdSense part, that can become a massive roadblock if you're not careful. So what on earth is AdSense? Honestly, the easiest way to think about it is like your financial hub or a digital wallet. All the money you earn from ads on your videos goes into your AdSense account first. Then, from there, it gets transferred to your actual bank account. It is an absolutely critical piece of this puzzle, and getting it right is non-negotiable. And that brings us to the obstacles. Look, hitting the subscriber and watch time numbers is one thing, but navigating all the rules is a whole other ballgame. So many creators get their applications rejected, not because their channel isn't popular, but because they stumble over some very specific and, frankly, very avoidable pitfalls. Okay, there are 3 rules here you absolutely cannot break. I mean it. First, you only get 1 AdSense account. For your entire life, that's it, 1. Second, if you're under 18, a parent or legal guardian has to be the one to set it up for you. And finally, and this one is tough, once your application is in review, don't touch it. Just leave it alone. Any little change can reset the clock or even get you rejected. Now, beyond the AdSense rules, your content itself is put under a microscope. YouTube is basically looking for 2 major red flags. Inauthentic content is that low-effort, copy-paste, or mass-produced AI stuff that lacks a human touch. Then there's reused content, which is when you just use someone else's clips without transforming them or adding significant new value, like your own commentary or analysis. At the end of the day, YouTube wants your original creativity, not just a copy. So let's say you've done it. You navigated all the rules, your channel is officially monetized, and you are earning income from your content. Is this the finish line? Not even close. This, my friend, is the starting line for building real wealth. Getting monetized isn't the prize itself. It's just the starting gun firing. That first paycheck you get is simply the seed capital. The real journey, the wealth-building journey, begins when you learn how to plant those seeds and actually make them grow. And this is that magic. It's called compounding. It's the process where the earnings from your investments start generating their own earnings. Now, it's a slow process at first, sure, but over time, it creates this unstoppable snowball of wealth. This is how you go from just earning money to actually building a fortune. So here it is. This is the roadmap that ties everything we've talked about together. It starts with setting a really clear goal. Then you fuel that goal by mastering a high-demand skill, like creating amazing content. The income from that skill is then saved and invested, and that whole process is powered by your commitment to learn something new every day. And the final, most important ingredient that makes it all work: patience. Because this is a marathon, not a sprint. So there you have it. The path is all laid out, from that initial shift in your mindset to the practical steps of creating value and building on it. It all really begins with that one single decision. So the only question left to ask is, what's your first step going to be?